Democrat of the day is someone we had on 2 years ago, Brad Brown. He's running in 31A. If that district sounds familiar, that's Kurt Dought's seat. And Brad is running to unseat Kurt Dought in 31A to represent the district for the DFL. He's kind enough to join us today as Democrat of the day. Brad, thank you, and welcome on back.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. We obviously, I would have loved to have seen you win in 2018. It didn't happen.
Me also.
Yes. We just, and a daily reminder almost, it's the state nightmare that is Kurt Dought. I mean, the fact that he was out mocking the Senate, basically executing prisoners as regards to, firing wrongfully the commissioners for the of the governor's staff. It really is disturbing that this guy is actually not only even in the House, but he's in a leadership position for the Republicans.
Exactly. He's holding up the bonding bill, and the bonding bill is supposed to get people back to work. One of the articles he has is with so many still struggling from the impacts of the pandemic and Governor Walz's shutdown, my top priority will be helping families, farmers, and small businesses recover. I don't see how holding back the bonding bill helps any of that recover. I don't know what he's thinking. It's a power struggle. It's a power play.
Well,
I'm not.
Well, he's done this. He's done this all the time. He's done this. I remember he did this back with Mark Dayton, and he talked about when he put the ice bucket challenge picture of Governor Dayton out and talked about how he poured cold water all over Mark Dayton, and then Dayton just toyed with the guy. I mean, the whole light rail thing and constantly, going around him and basically making him, moot as far as kind of a negotiator. He still is doing these same things, and you're exactly right. He wants to basically he's trying to use the bonding bill, which I'm pretty sure your district, many other districts could desperately need right now. He's trying to use this as a political, poker chip to get Governor Walz, who is doing a fairly good job here with coronavirus and managing it for the state, to hand over his emergency powers and, I guess, make us into Georgia or Texas or Florida or something like that.
Well, I received a copy of Governor Walz's response to Minority Leader Dought, and he pretty much, conceded a lot of different things to him in a way of compromising. It is it's a hand across the aisle, more or less. And asked him to stop playing petty political victories, trying to one up, so to speak. And he's given up all sorts of things, and Dought just kind of turned his nose up at it and said, "No, I want you to be totally out of it, and relinquish everything." And I don't see where he's got a leg to stand on. And I hope the constituents out here, along with me, feel the same way come November 3rd.
Well, and, it really is. I've never complimented someone on how good they punched me in the face. And I don't know why the voters of that district keep electing the guy, because that's basically what they're doing when they keep sending him back, is they're saying, thank you very much for punching me in the face. Because he doesn't do these things. And you're right. You surmised his negotiation style perfectly. It's his way or the highway. It's a petulant man-child who basically, unless you do exactly what he says, that he takes all of his toys and he goes home. And, at this point, though, he's costing, because he's not getting everything he wants. It's costing him it's costing the state dramatically with the bonding bill.
Exactly. And he spent part of his time in Washington, D.C. with Emmer. And I guarantee you, if you vote me in, I'll be a full-time representative of this area. I'll represent my people full-time.
If you don't mind, Brad, let's once again refresh everyone's memory exactly who you are, why you've decided to run and try to unseat Kurt Dought there in 31A.
Well, I'll tell you exactly the truth. I couldn't see. I'm a labor individual. I came from labor, born and bred. I've been born and bred union. And my father was a machinist president and later on business rep for the Machinist Union. I've been a member of the same union for about 29 years, worked in a union shop, went from apprentice up to running the shop 29 years later, and soon after that retired. And I couldn't see the state turning into a right-to-work state. I've got so much that I owe to my brothers in the union that I can't see it go that way. What I really want is health care for all, a good education, and good jobs for everyone. And I'd sure like to see veterans' rights upheld, because right now in the Senate, they turned down the Veterans Restorative Justice Act. And I can't see that. That would have saved the state $1.2 million a year. But they seem to be doing the wrong things at the wrong time.
It's amazing to me, and what you see here is this is it's not just the House where you're running, but you have to have that Senate, because the Republicans, they will always take a toehold and try to turn it into a firm grip no matter what they do. And so unless we have a Democratic House and Democratic Senate, it's kind of one of those things where you run into these problems. And even common sense stuff doesn't get done, and it is a problem. I mean, I think that when I think about Kurt Doudt, and I think about jobs, let's go with that talk about that for a moment, because that's near and dear to your heart. It's okay, fine. He's against the idea of the $15 minimum wage, but it's not just the fact that even though we have got, especially during this pandemic, and as we've learned, there's most people don't have enough money check to check when they're working to make it. That we can make an argument that we definitely need to increase the salaries of American workers. The reality is, not only does he not want to do that, but that a community like Minneapolis, where, once again, this is Kurt Doudt. This is a guy that screams, "Keep your metro noses out of my business." And here he is going into Minneapolis, which is not his district, and trying to dictate that $15 minimum wage, even though Minneapolis is saying, well, you need to have this just to be able to survive in this city. He's trying his hardest to take away advancements for the workers.
Well, I'm surprised he went in Minneapolis. After all, he's been preaching out here that it's very unsafe. Constituents, don't go down to Minneapolis because it's a dangerous area. Mm-hmm. Because the Democrats don't have it under control down there. The police force is just shorthanded, and crime is running rampant. Mm-hmm. And yet he goes down there and he kind of sticks his nose where it doesn't belong. He runs on two things: pro-life and pro-gun. That's basically his platform. And I've door knocked at a lot of doors 2 years ago, and I really talked to a lot of people, and I found no one that really liked him. But at the same time, when it came to Election Day, like you said, they voted for him.
You nail it there, and I think that one of the things that's a benefit, and I know that you said you were having some success last time. When we last time talked, you talked about the health care issue. It's only more prevalent now that we have, a pandemic going on in this country. And where you see guys like Kurt Doudt and Paul Gazelka pandering to this fringe element that says, I don't care, I'm going to make everyone sick by not wearing a mask. The reality is most people are scared about where things are going, have all of a sudden come to realize that the medical system we have in place is a lot worse than it was 4 years ago when Trump took over. And and there is a real fear here that, that this is not only something that is, quite deadly, but financially could wipe out a lot of families as it takes out a lot of members of a family.
Exactly. And, we've got an option now. We've got an option that we didn't really have before, or at least I didn't know about before. I knew about, I was really Medicare for all, single payer is what I believe in. But now we have Senator John Marty, and he's got the Minnesota Health Plan, which is based on the ability to pay. It covers everything, mm-hmm. and it's based on the ability to pay. And it sounds like, what I've read about it so far, it sounds like a great plan, and it's really affordable. It's really something we need. And, I've talked to so many people that's the thing that keeps a lot of the older people from retiring. It keeps a lot of younger people from having children and getting married and getting the house they want.
Absolutely.
And because one small little catastrophe when it comes to your health, you'd lose it all.
Yeah, and of course it comes from, while the Republicans just sit there and demand that the Democrats do what they want them to do, Democrats are coming up with solutions for Minnesota, and hopefully we can get some of these done. I want to ask you, because it's something you did do a great amount of door knocking last election cycle. How are you guys dealing with the pandemic? Obviously, this is something that it's new territory for a lot of people. How has that gone? Have you got a plan in place? Are you social distance door knocking? How is it going?
We haven't done door knocking so far because we've been pretty much told that that's not the thing to do. What I've done is I've set up a website, which is brown4mnhouse.com. That's brown4mnhouse.com, and also I'm on Facebook. And we're doing little pop-up ads here and there. I've sent out a mailer so far, and I plan on sending another mailer type of flyer in conjunction with our new senatorial candidate against Michelle Benson. And her and I are going to meet on Friday. Her name is Kate Luthner, and she's running against Michelle Benson. And so in conjunction with her, which she has the whole district, and I have 35A, we plan on doing a joint mailer and plan on sharing some signs and locations of good places to put signs. But right now, no, door knocking is not on the agenda right now.
Are you doing will you have any kind of online, community groups, town halls, listening sessions?
I would love to do that. In fact, I've got a lot of endorsements. That's what I'm working on now. I've submitted 18 different endorsements, mostly labor organizations, Education Minnesota, Minnesota Nurses Associations, and organizations like that. Move to Amend, I'm into that, and a lot of different organizations. And matter of fact, Light Rail endorsed me. That's Brothers of Electrical Railroad Workers and Trainmen. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's a union, and it represents Light Rail, and they endorsed me. In fact, they sent me some contributions to go towards my campaign and pay for more signs. So I appreciate every endorsement that I get.
Well, and this is the key, and this is why we're having Brad Brown on, once again, 31A, Democrat of the Day. Folks, if you're listening right now, you're in a relatively safe Democratic district, by all means, help out your local congresswoman, congressman, senator, by all means. Help those people out. But as well, get up to 31A. Brad Brown, this is just north of the metro area. It's a district that – it's like I said, Kurt Daudt is not giving them any reasons to vote for him outside of being a belligerent, petulant man-child. Brad Brown is representation that would actually help that district, not basically just use the position for his own personal agenda. And so we need to get Brad into the Minnesota House with the Democratic majority because that district needs someone that's going to care for the district, and that's the least bit. Brad, once again, what's the phone number if someone wants to volunteer, donate, help out, phone bank for you, whatever? What's the web address for people to get in touch with you?
763-260-0381. 763-260-0381. And then Brown, 4, mnhouse.com. It's the same on Facebook. It's Brown, 4, mnhouse.
mnhouse.com for the webpage. I'll post everything. I'll link to everything a little bit later on. Brad Brown, Democrat of the Day. Brad, all my best. I hope to see you in St. Paul next year. It'd be great.
Thank you, Matt. I hope to be there.
Thank you, sir.